Welcome everybody, this is your host, the Nook. I've got my bubbly beverage and I am ready here on this beautiful Thursday night to live stream to you guys. Let me know if you think I'm a little too quiet or anything like that, if you guys are inside the chat. And let's go ahead and get things started. I'm going to turn my volume down here so I can actually hear notifications and stuff. There we go. We're going to be playing Don't Starve Together tonight, and I think it's a pretty fun game. And I really want to type game for some reason. But yeah, today we're going to chillax and play some Don't Starve Together with some schnozzy music. I think today's subjects are going to include the new Pokemon Sword and Shield, because I absolutely love Pokemon. And, yeah, so we're going to do that. Let me go ahead and name this. What shall I name it? What shall I name it? The Nook Thursday. It's always Thursday. If I can actually type, yeah. It's always Thursday. With an E instead of an A. Description. It is. Friends only. Game mode survival. Pre-VP off. Players 6. No password. Server mode online. Let's see about caves. Add caves. Alright, we're gonna have everything normal. Mods. Zim? No. Craftable gears? No. Display food values? Yes. Extra equipment slots? No. Global positioning? Yes. Health info? Yes. And Weston the Wandering Cactus? No. We're just gonna go ahead and do it as vanilla as we can. I don't think we're gonna do any rollbacks yet. Forest settings. Generate world. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me go ahead and do that. Talky talk. Talky talk, talky talk, talky talk. In do. Gaming chat, okay. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Can you go ahead and moderate, Alligator? Okay. Let's get this bread. I just want to do one of those Homer do for some reason. Ah, bubbly beverages. Let's see if it'll actually generate our world. It usually does take a while, huh? A goat, yes. Current projects for our fursuits business that we are trying to start up includes a goat, somewhat of a goat, semi-goat, more like a dreamer goat. It's very, very, very well designed. and I enjoyed working on sculpting the facial features. The guy had most of the materials, and it made it really easy. But yeah, I liked it. I liked working on it, and we're still working on it a bit. As a matter of fact, right now I'm cutting up or carving out horns. It feels like marshmallow, actually. Carving Eva foam for the first time reminds me of like cutting through marshmallow for some reason. But yeah, it's fun. And I don't know where we're. Kingdom of Gaming, can you? By the way, everybody, we're going to see if we can have that Discord link soon inside the description, but if you want to go ahead and join a fun server.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Imran.
How have you been?
I've been doing okay. Congratulations, you're live here on the Nook Thursdays. Oh, you're 8-star.
I figured it'd just be called 8-star, but I'm fine with my
I'm more of on a first name basis over here. Everybody loves first name basis or something. Anyways, so we're just gonna call you 8 from now on because Alligator demands it. Jojo enthusiast. Nanda.
What are you doing in my swamp? What are you doing? What is this?
I am curving a circle. Give me those.
In that case, I'm just going to be very relaxed and enjoy my time in my very flexible, stretchy chair.
Ooh, I like flexi chairs. Flexi chairs.
I guess that was a poor choice of words. It's just a recliner, really, but I like to think that it's stretchy.
You know what? I think I do think recliners have a natural bit of stretchiness to them. It's one of those kind of things that that just gets overlooked too many times, I think.
I see what you mean. It's perfect for listening to people and talking to them while they play Don't Starve. Don't you agree?
Indeed, I do. So, how was your day, 8, by the way?
Well, I just got back from training for my job.
Mm-hmm.
We had to just go over some basic safety things, and
Oh, cool.
good lord, people die from falling off so often. It's kind of morbid.
Oh my gosh, I can't stress how hilarious any of those safety training videos are. Here I was over at Walmart, first job. I worked at Walmart before, and so they give you the first 3 days of your training over there at Walmart is just safety videos and how to do your job, and not really how to do your job, but safety videos and regulations and all this other stuff. And who am I gonna pick for this? You know what? I'm gonna be Wes, because it's freaking hard to do it as Wes. Actually, I haven't tried Wolfgang much. I'm gonna try Wolfgang out on this one. Anywho, so
Oh, thank God! I thought you weren't gonna finish your sentence.
no. So what happens is the first, I mean, like we had like 62 hours of training videos. It was ridiculous.
Relatable.
And I was just like, man, why so many training videos? I wondered. And so here you are, you're trying to find, you know, the practicality of it all, like me. And you find out that several people have like died because of these safety protocols not actually being followed. So we're going through all the training videos and how to use the wash station for chemical spills and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, am I ever going to use this? And the answer is no. I never did use it at all.
No.
I wanted
No,
to so bad. I wanted to use the eye wash station. I was actually almost willing to pour like some stuff in my eyes just to use it, because I'm like, that sounds so cool. You know, you'd be able to wash your eyeballs out in the sink at this eye wash station. So I go to try and use it. The sucker didn't work.
Aw.
I was like,
What a
oh
letdown.
jeez. So I go and
Imagine
tell.
if you did need to use it for
I
a
was like-
situation.
I was like, oh man, that doesn't work. That must be like some sort of like health code hazard or violation or something. I gotta go tell my manager about this. So I go tell my manager, and they're like, oh yeah, that thing hasn't worked since I got here either. I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, it's gonna get fixed
Oh,
soon.
okay.
I'm sure of it.
If that See, if I had been in your situation, I probably would have had a feeling of imminent dread,
Oh yeah.
wherein, where, where prior to when using it and seeing that it didn't work, I would have
Yeah.
probably thought something along the lines of, "Well, I'm glad I didn't need to use it in a rail emergency.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been kind of bad."
Seriously. I mean, just the way they were so nonchalant about all of these things over at the Walmart that I worked at. I mean, it's improved from what I've seen. It's definitely improved since I worked there, what, 6 years ago? 6 years?
I don't know.
Somewhere around 6 years, I think. Pretty sure.
Only took them 6 years to get it right.
But yeah, the sucker, I mean, they did not care. And oh my gosh, the one guy that I was working with, he called himself Valentine, and I'm pretty sure his name was Valentine, but the guy was awesome. And I think the first impression that I ever had was lackluster. Actually, let me just say, my expectations were met when I was there. Okay, here I am. I'm just starting out at age. No, it wasn't 20. Yeah, 18. It was at age 18, so it was about 6 years ago, 5, 6 years. I can't math.
Not that old.
I'm 23 at the moment in this video.
It's not a question mark.
23 at this video's time, so I should have been 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, 5 years. 5, 6 years. I said 5 years. 5, 6 years. Whatever. I said it though. That's all that counts. But anyways, so the big thing was my expectations were met when I got there. And at first, I was like really I mean, I'm 18, I'm getting into the job force. Here I am. I'm going along. I'm thinking maybe I'll be able to make a living here at Walmart. Maybe I could continue on. I know I'm going to be moving soon, but maybe, this is a job that I'm going to like. I'll keep my mind open about this. I'm pretty sure it's going to suck, but I'm going to keep my mind open about this. And so I go to the job, and the first day is, well, first 3 days is all those training videos. Oh my gosh. And they had me at graveyard shift, but I had to come in during the day for the training videos, which was pretty funny as well. So I go in, and the guy who trained me with the videos, right? The guy who's literally giving me words of wisdom to stocking shelves and getting regular basic stuff done, right? He completely is gone when I join the night shift. And in the graveyard shift. He's just completely gone. He's every time I go in there, he's like, "Okay, bye, Edward," and that was it. I was like, "Oh shoot!" And
Lord.
so the first time I go in there, I'm like, "Okay, so what am I supposed to do?" And so I never went to the pep thing before. They have this whole pep rally thing that they have going on during your days there at Walmart, and they the whole thing, if you're wondering why there's a lot of yelling in the back room around 4 o'clock or so at your Walmart, it's because they're having a pep rally because the shift is changing, and that is what happens. They have this whole big pep rally thing that they got going along here, and it goes something a little along the lines of you have to get up, start clapping your hands at a certain interval, something along the lines of. And so as you're doing that, as you're going along, clapping your hands, you're thinking, first timer, you're thinking, what the heck is going on here? Are we like, starting some sort of cult here at Walmart? What's going on? And so as we're going along and doing this, um, you go, give me a W, and everybody, W, give me an A, give me an L, give me a squiggly, squiggly, give me. They just go on, and I was like, what in the world is going on here? Because I had no clue what was going down at that point. I thought I had walked into the wrong shift. I was thinking, oh my gosh, they're gonna kill me tonight. I'm gonna be, offered on the sacrificial altar. This is where they get their meat. I'm just, this is this is where I'm going to die. And so I'm thinking this is some sort of like cult or something. And
Walmart called shenanigans at 4 in the
seriously, it
morning.
was just my shift started at 11 and they started chanting at around 11:15 and I was completely weirded out by the whole ordeal. And I was like, what in the world? And so I went along and after the whole thing, after that whole uproar, these people started introducing themselves and whatever, and they're like, "We got a new employee. This is Edward. We're gonna go along. Say hi to Edward." Everybody's, "Hey, Edward." Other people are like, and so I was like, "Okay, hey, that's cool. When are we working? Because that's what I'm here to do." And so what happens is they're like, "All right, so and so." I think his name was Johnson. I think it was Johnson. So like Johnson, train at no, they didn't even say Johnson. It was on my little paperwork that they gave me. And so on this little piece of paper it says who's supposed to be training me. And I'm like, okay, so who's supposed to be training here? Johnson. Okay, so who's Johnson? Looking at the manager, and the manager's like, oh, that's him over there. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go over to Johnson, right? And I'm like, are you Johnson? He's like, yeah, what's up? And so this is huge black guy. I mean, the guy's like LeBron James or something up in there. And
Hmm.
he's a really cool looking guy. I mean, I hung out with him
Hmm.
later a little bit, and he's pretty cool. It's just he's in the front room, and I'm in the back room, and I don't know why my paper said that I was supposed to be training with him because he had absolutely no clue that he was supposed to be training me. And so he looks at the piece of paper that I give him, and he goes, "Man, I ain't got time for this. Valentine!" And so this Mexican guy comes up. This short Mexican guy. He looks like part Korean or something. He's amazing guy. Really fun and easy to work with, and really just shows you shortcuts before you even learn the basics. Which really shortcuts are the basics at Walmart. It's just Walmart doesn't want you learning shortcuts first. I don't know why, because it made life a heck of a lot easier over there. But so I'm like, what are you in for, Valentine? He goes, I bought a laptop and I need money to pay it off. I'm like, where'd you buy the laptop? He goes, right here, pointing at Walmart. And I was like, dang, man. He goes, what are you in for? I'm like, I'm 18 and I need a job. He goes, harsh, man. I know the feel. And so we just hit it off really easy. But Johnson did not train me at all. It was hilarious. And so as I was working in the back room, these guys were like the managers of the area, kind of shifted every now and then. And so the managers are like, hey, you're not meeting quota. I'm like, quota? What kind of quota is there that I was not informed of? And they're like, you need to make at least 100 picks every night. And so, just for people who have never worked at Walmart before, picks are things. It's basically a term for you are supposed to get your little price check gun, like with Progressive, except you're not trying to get insurance, even though you really need it over here. Um, you're supposed to take this little gun and scan this barcode on the edge here of this giant metal like bin with like caged bin, and you're supposed to scan the side, and you're supposed to get all of this like list of things that need to come out. And as you take the things out, yeah, that's what Wolfgang does. But anyway, so what was I saying? Right, bins. We got a new subscribble. That's so cool. Who's the 150th subscriber? Who? Jojo.
Oh, well, I'd say I would be surprised, but I'm not sure if that'll
So
be too
anyways,
surprising. I'm too
so
tired to be surprised, damn it.
you're too tired to be surprised right now. Too tired to be surprised. I can't even say surprised
Too tired to
correctly.
be surprised and too tired to be subscribed.
I can get a friend, but how? Oh, Glommer's glue. Never mind. Or maybe
I
the
remember when I had the Glover's glue.
yes, the Glommer's glue. Anyways, so you get these picks, and you're supposed to go over, and you're going to get this
Mm-hmm.
list after you find the picks, and once you go to get all of these picks, um, it already made the sound here, so I'm pretty sure that yeah, it shows up on the stream, I think. But you're supposed to go over, get this list, and pick all of the things out of the bin that appear on the list, right? And so as you go around and try and get these things, some of the things are not in there, and they say they should be. And I'm like, you lied to me. You lied to me. You said that there was going to be these things inside of the bin, and there's not. And here I am wasting half an hour trying to find this one object that just turns out to be, yeah. And so anyways, with that, you go along, and as you're going along, you find out that things are not all peachy keen as you might think they would be in a
Imagine.
perfect world. And so at during a graveyard shift, and I'm just 18 starting out into the job force, and it definitely was something that I didn't want to do. Um, After the second day, they're like, "All right, time for a break." And so I'm used to like odd jobs, right? I'm used to having breaks like, "All right, you drop what you're doing and you just go ahead and hang out or chill or just casually do what you weren't able to complete." No, over here, you get fired for trying to do more work during your break. I was like, "Well, dang, I don't want to get fired or anything. So, what do I do?" And they're like, well, all you got to do is take your break. I'm like, but it's work. I get paid to work. And they're like, well, it's a mandatory break. And mandatory, and my heart sank when they said a mandatory unpaid 2 hours of break. First, you get a 30-minute break, unpaid. Then you go back onto the shift. And then after you complete that, you go to your hour-long mandatory unpaid lunch break. And they said it exactly like that. And I was like, dang, a whole hour. I kind of wanted to get paid to eat. Dang it. And so then they're like, and then after you start up your second shift, you get another 30-minute interruption. So, you thought you were getting into a groove or something like that? No, we're going to interrupt you with a break now. And so I kind of got into that swing of things, and it got so bad. Okay, it got so bad, me working at Walmart, that I started to dream of working there. I actually had nightmares of customers asking me, hey, where do I find this? And me being like, I have no clue, as in front of me, Walmart starts to expand and writhe in only a nightmarish,
Do
you know.
do you
And
still have dreams?
every now and then.
You realize that's not gonna leave you until you die, right?
Oh yeah, I know it's gonna, haunt me forever. And
So, I'd like to say that that was only unique to your experience, but I've actually heard that happen to multiple other people who worked retail.
they start dreaming of working retail.
They years after they left their job, every now and again they'll have like dreams of working retail again.
Wow.
Like their boss is just showing up and going, "You're on for this shift." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I don't work there anymore." And then they wake up.
That's so sad.
Something along those lines. And then for me, that's FedEx, the FedEx department at the call center I used to work at.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I dream that I'm still there.
Oh wow.
And it's not really an unpleasant experience. It's not like a nightmare. It's just more like, oh, okay, I'm going back to work.
Okay, back to work.
So I can't like. I think if there's anything I can take away from this when it came to my first job, it's that at least when I dream of going back to work, the environment there was not so miserable
Nice.
that it's a nightmare every time I go to bed.
But yeah, every time I would dream of Walmart, it was a nightmare. It was just like, why am I here? You know that meme where, why are we even here? Just to suffer.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid
Yes.
5. Yeah,
Yes,
you go.
that one.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was that every single time. I was like, why am I dreaming this? And I used to wake up in the middle of the day because I was working graveyard and I would work all night and sleep all day, vice versa. And I absolutely hated it. It just threw me off so bad. And we were in the middle of, transitioning to a move, and so we didn't have beds. We had cots. We had like army cots because both my parents were military. They, got army cots, and so me and my brothers would sleep in these army cots inside of this room, and so here I am waking up out of this cot, and you don't want to wake up out of a cot unless you have somewhere else to go. Because when you wake up from a cot, or wake up and sleeping in a cot, unless it's a very nice cot, let me rephrase that, unless it's a non-army or military cot, it is not something that you want to wake up from. It is a very uncomfortable state once you start moving after sleeping in a cot like that. But you work out the kinks and you just kind of gotta run, which is, I mean, with an army lifestyle, it just kind of makes sense. So you just don't really think much about it. But when you have to go back to sleep after waking up inside of that cot, it's so difficult to actually fall back asleep because it's just such an uncomfortable night's sleep there. And but anyways, so I'm working Walmart and I'm thinking this is going to be a great job. I'm going to be able to, make money. And then they're like, Edward. I go, what? Oh, snacks. Welcome. If that greeting is a little behind, don't worry. It's just because internet is slow and the magic of YouTube time warping. But anyways,
Time.
time is just
I'm
an
trying.
illusion.
I'm trying to make the use of the internet like shitting itself on my end to make it sound like I'm actually distorted.
No. You actually sound really good on the stream, actually.
Time is warped here.
Time is warped here. Time is merely an illusion, and not always.
The flow of
what it
time is
seems.
warped here.
Anyways, so but that was a
Damn it, I was gonna quote
long
Slyr.
time ago. That was a long, long time ago. Back in my olden days, when I was but a small youth.
Back when it was just me and Max.
Before the Fire Nation attacked.
Oh, I was gonna mix Goof Troop in there, but
Oh man.
that's what I was trying to do. But if we want to mix Goof Troop in Avatar: The Last Airbender, go right on ahead.
Oh man. But anyways, so Walmart was definitely an interesting job, and they're like, you have
It
Black
was
Friday.
hell.
You have Black Friday. And then Valentine literally looked over and he's like, Coach, are you sure? He just out of all sincerity, and he's not a very serious guy, but he looks over and his eyes are huge, and I never seen Valentine so surprised, and he goes, are you sure? You want the new guy on Black Friday? He goes, and Thanksgiving. And he goes, are you serious? Homie's not gonna take that, Edward. Don't take this. And I'm like, but I mean, it's a job. I kind of need the money. And he goes, true. I'll see you on Black Friday and Thanksgiving, homie. I was like, okay, cool. But oh, Black Friday was brutal. I thought Thanksgiving was kind of bad. I mean, we had a couple grocery carts in the back with thawing frozen turkeys, and I'm like, that doesn't seem sanitary. And they're like, yeah, just throw them out and make sure to mark it. And I'm like, okay. So I go over and I do the stuff and I do that. And I realized, you know what? Nobody has ever trained me to put into the system that something has something has expired or needs to be thrown away, and the company needs to be reimbursed for it. And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
can anybody show me how to do this? And they're like, not right now. It's rush hour.
Uh-oh.
Oh shoot.
Oh, Shaggy.
Roll, Raggy.
Rural.
Roll. Let me steal this
Uh-oh,
bird's
Scoob.
egg.
Don't do it.
I'm stealing the egg.
Don't do it. Oh.
Oh well, it killed those guys. Let me just.
Uh-oh. Looks like I'm a...
Oh shoot!
Looks like someone's about to be looks like
Hold on.
someone's about to be convicted of being a war criminal, Scoob.
I'm a war criminal, Scoob.
No, stop it.
Eating to gain my strength. Hold on. I am mighty. Face the fury of... Oh shoot.
I'm a war criminal, Scoob. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm focusing too much on that.
Hold on. I gotta narrate this. Hold on. Day 3. Everyone is dead.
That was really good.
Oh gosh.
0.1%
I used 0.001% of my power.
Could you make it sound like a dramatic narration, but you drop your Tic Tacs, so you gotta pick them all up.
Oh gosh, hold on. Day 3. Oh shoot! I dropped all my Tic Tacs. Hold on, just a second here. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that one has a booger on it. Ew, that's disgusting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Was there only 8? What do you mean reset now?
No one else is playing.
Oh, I can't use the Flowr postern to revive or anything?
You dropped all of my Tic.
Oh, I died. You know what? Everybody's saying that like hard mode, to play hard mode in Don't Starve, you have to play as Wes, and I absolutely love the balloon animals that he does. So I'm gonna do Wes. I'm gonna play as Wes. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm curious, actually. This is something that appeals to me. So art direction is something that like propels a lot of games, or a lot of things in general that are exceptionally popular in pop culture. But do you think if Don't Starve looked less appealing than it does now, like art-wise, it would have been more overlooked than it already is?
Oh yeah, I think they're really scraping by with the style. Or when they first started, it was kind of like an unheard of game style. It's like, why is everything Ed, and Eddie over here? You know, that kind of outline for Ed, and Eddie with like the swiggles and stuff like that. It looks like that, but slower. And you're like, what
With
is
like
up
a
with
weird
this?
mix of Tim Burton.
Yeah, and they're like, what is up with this game? And it doesn't really go in to explaining what the game is about. And the only way that you actually did that was by either completing a certain secret boss kind of thing, just like when you're out of the way kind of things, instead of just going straight to what's his name, Maxwell in the first game, Don't Starve. You just have to survive as long as you can and defeat other major bosses, and that's how you get the secret, explanations as to why you're stuck here. And it's just kind of weird, the motives behind it, and it's not really explained. And even in Don't Starve Together, with a regularly updated, from what I can understand, I don't know if it actually is as regular as they say it is, but in this regular update of a game, they're still very lacking in what exactly the whole scheme of things is, which is just weird to me, because usually in a game I am
Wait. I have the whole painter set.
oh, that's cool. But usually in games I'm used to
Oh, they're good.
I'm used to actually getting what a storyline is. What the whole deal is with all of this. And really I actually had to look into what the whole timeline was with Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. and you still don't know, even after they give you the timeline, you still don't know what the motives and everything is behind it. So it's not really like a narrative, and it's not really big. It's more like just one of those things that you just experience. And that's what the whole thing is about. It's just trying to survive in this horrible, horrible world that is Don't Starve. And I did a lot of research just recently about it, and it really only gives you the timelines. And even the creators of it are just like, yeah, yeah, so this happens, you die, this happens, people get abducted into this world, and then that's about it. Yeah. And I'm like, that's it? And they're like, yeah, you just gotta fend for yourself and do this. And I'm like, that's the whole point of this game. And you're making like hundreds of dollars off of this, I'm presuming, on a regular basis because people are like, ooh, new aesthetics and new costumes. And I'm just like, it's a good game and all, especially challenging if you don't know what the heck you're doing. It's a good game to just delve into, and very few games are like that nowadays. But it's not a good game that you would want to continue with. Like unless you are just one of those over the top, extremely bored people that you build massive, superstructures in Minecraft when you're bored or something like that. Like recreating the Taj Mahal in to scale in Minecraft or something. Because there is actually someone out there like that, and they've actually done it, and it's just so. I don't know. To me, I definitely don't want to play the game a lot. Because, I mean, even now, my brain is struggling with me. And I'm just like, okay, I should keep playing this because we have a live stream and this is content and it'd take forever to reset everything to try and get a new game on and yada yada. And I should just stick with this. But since I died, my brain is saying, all right, game over, you're done. We'll wait till next time. Better luck next time. And it's just that's the way I'm geared. I mean, even in Minecraft, I am I got so good at hardcore, Minecraft hardcore mode in the Java edition that I survived. I think it was I'll have to go look at it because I still have the world. I haven't touched it since 1.11 came out. Yeah. And I beat the Ender Dragon and all of this other stuff in hardcore mode, which is pretty interesting. I mean, it's not necessarily a massive feat, but that it is definitely something that is difficult to do in Minecraft, and I did it, and I still have the village and everything that I had beforehand. But I got so good at playing Minecraft that in hardcore mode, just in case you guys don't know, just in case you play it on the PS4 or Xbox or Windows 10 edition and you don't have hardcore mode, it's you die once and the world is over. That is it. You cannot play anymore. You can spectate where you have been, but the world will not load past those borders. And you can only observe where you have been and you cannot explore any further. That is it. That is all. And you cannot influence the world in any way. You just see where you died, you see where all of this other stuff has happened, and that's about it. So so with this, it's like I mean, sure it's brand new world and this is kind of like a good way to get started with it because I mean, I kind of started off the same way with Minecraft, just dying over and over and over again. And but for me, it's like Don't Starve is just this single point of view that you have to just complete all of these other things in order to just inevitably die. And Minecraft has no story, but Don't Starve does have a story. If it were more story oriented, and this is just me because I'm a very story oriented kind of individual in games. I mean, like with Warframe, I love playing that because it has a fairly decent story to it. And several stories for all of these other quests as well. Backstories to, who these characters are, how'd they get into this situation, and what's the history of this universe that spans literally millennia. And it's just one of those kind of games that I like to grind at, even though it's not typically a story-based game or story-oriented game. It's just one of those things that you come across that spices things up, and I find it intriguing like that. And supposedly they're gonna have new content with that about what was it? A new war, like against what's called the Sentients, and but yeah, other than that, um, it just has storylines sprinkled in it, which is pretty nice. It's pretty nice that it's sprinkled in there. It's just my kind of thing. But then you come along with Don't Starve, and storyline isn't even sprinkled into it. It's just like it's there, but only if you really, really sacrifice your time and effort to get there. And I'm like, or just data mine, and that's it. And I like games that you actually have to do a little bit more. Um, and it's there for you, like kind of like a reward, instead of trying so hard just to get this little bit of vague information so that you can, drag this out as long as you can. And that's what Don't Starve is to me. Um, Sadly, it's not exactly all that great of a game for me, but I'm still playing it. And Slime Rancher was great. I mean, you're so obsessed with this one goal of being the best that you can be. Not the best that you can be, but the best, get all of this money, unlock all of this stuff. There's also a storyline in Slime Rancher, and I absolutely love Slime Rancher because one, it's one of those farming games. Two, it's a good farming game that keeps you on your toes with enemies and stuff like that. And so you gotta just trying to manage the slimes is such a hard task for me. But yeah, it's really, really fun for me. And I mean, I just kind of feel sad at times that I mean, not really sad, but I mean, it's just kind of like sad that certain games aren't up to my, I guess, high standards. I guess I have high standards, like unrealistically high standards for games. I look at certain Sonic games and I'm like, that's not a good Sonic game. And then other people are saying, yeah, this Sonic game, it's a classic, it's great, you should play this Sonic game, it's good. And I'm like, but I don't like that Sonic game because it's not the Sonic game that I started out with, which is a big thing. Nostalgia plays a lot inside of my preferences as well, because the first Pokemon game that I picked up was Silver and Gold, Johto. And what is this? It says at Nook. Honestly, any game you play would probably be good. You're good at storytelling. I'd definitely buy a podcast. Buy a podcast. We should write that down. Podcast.
That's what you're doing. That's what this is.
But people aren't paying to see this.
No.
We should look into that.
Stop that. Stop.
It'd take 10 minutes to change a game. The audio supplements the visual. Thank you so much, Jojo. And or sorry, Dio.
No, this is Jojo.
It was Dio all along. But I mean, you can join the voice chat, Jojo. She's just muted. Why are you muted, Jojo? Jojo, come on down. I'm joking.
I was practicing like my Japanese dialogue, and so yeah, there's like a check tomorrow, so I've been doing that.
Okay.
Other projects and stuff.
Okay. You were just
Yeah,
watching
but-
anime, weren't you?
I wish. I was playing like a game right now, so
Oh,
I'm
sweet.
hoping it's not like coming over the mic.
No, it's just your voice so far. It's pretty good.
Coolio.
Yeah. But yeah, for video games is just something I like. And you don't have to talk, Jojo. It's just one of those things, you know. It's nice to hear from you. You know, since we didn't have our D&D thing last Saturday. You know what? We're gonna do that too. We're gonna have like D&D
Yeah.
streams Saturday. So we're gonna try and.
Not stream. It's too hard.
It's too hard to stream. I mean, with just audios.
As
Oh,
Yeah, we can just
okay.
stream audio. I don't mind.
That's what I've been trying to do. Like,
Or your DM table.
Mhm. I mean, cause our quality has been going down a lot lately. I mean, gameplay, visual quality, sure, but the audio quality and upload quality for like internet speed and stuff is a little bit of a different story. I mean, sure, it's gotten a little better, but not by much. Not by like really good YouTube standards, which is something that I'd like to actually fix. Okay, I have very, very high standards, like I was saying, okay? Nostalgia is a big thing, okay? I look at a YouTube video, I feel nostalgic when watching Markiplier and his cool audio quality and visual quality, and I'm thinking, you know what?
Yeah.
That feels so nostalgic watching his videos. It's so nice. Oh my god, it's so nice. And so...
Roll that, Steve.
And so I'm thinking I really need to make my videos or make these videos because they're a joint compilation. And I'm thinking I need to have them at that quality now.
No, you don't.
And I
You
know
don't, though.
I don't have to. It's just since I'm a perfectionist and I'm like, I want that. I want that quality there. I want these camera angles. I want to be good without working for it. You know,
Enjoy your own self.
I have very unrealistic standards with that kind of thing.
Do you?
And I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Really, I am. It's just, hello everybody. This is Markiplier, and
I refuse.
I actually want to get like some sort of. I want to get in contact with him somehow, to have like a training session almost. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Dude, actually just email him, cause so I watched this guy, I don't know if you heard of him, Northern Lion.
It sounds familiar, but not sure.
Well, he plays like Isaac videos, and he told the story that I remember about this small YouTuber named Markiplier emailing him, asking him for advice on how to start a YouTube channel.
Wow.
Yeah, so now he's like this big dude in Northern Lion, like, oh, I should have replied.
Wow.
So, like, honestly, just like email Markiplier, like, try and get a hold of it and be like, hey, do you have advice or something?
Yeah.
I think it's at least worth a shot.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's really cool though. Just like out of the blue, this one guy that actually turns out to be, you know, later on this big dude in YouTube. I mean, like how much is he making every day now with just
Yeah.
with just being him? It's amazing. Something that I like goals, you know, just goals. I think my mouse is dying. Oh shoot. Like, have you seen his video about him getting his oh shoot, my mouse is dying, guys. I'm going to die because my mouse is dying. Oh no. But yeah, he had a video where he got his teeth pulled, his wisdom teeth pulled, and it was one of his recent videos actually. And I know the people watching YouTube probably in 50 years from now they're gonna be like, that's not recent at all. But I'm like, well, it's recent right now, according to, you know, how we're uploading things. But the guy had his wisdom teeth removed, so he's coming out of anesthetic, and I don't know if he's acting like it. I don't know if he's acting, you know, is this real life? That kind of thing. But the dude was in tears half the time, and he just breaks out and he goes, I just want to thank all of you, and his mouth is all swollen up, and the poor I feel bad for him when that happens, but he's like, I want to thank all of you guys because you guys are amazing, and I wouldn't be able to live the dream that I'm living now. And he just like shouts out to
Aww,
all of
that's
his
so sweet.
fans as he's, just coming out of his anesthetic. And I'm like, you, sir, are, if there's anywhere I want to go in life, it's kind of towards that direction where I can just look back and see all of these people that have helped me get to where I am and be like, I was, there's such a stark contrast to where I was when I was alive and, where I am now when I'm even more alive. I didn't want to make it sound like, I was just gonna like die spontaneously or something, so I had to rethink my words there.
Spontaneous death.
Just some it's like you've heard of spontaneous combustion, now spontaneous death. I mean, isn't all death spontaneous technically?
No.
I think it is. I think all death is technically spontaneous. Because it just alights on you. Anyways. Off of that darker subject. But yeah, I just kind of like want to get to the point. Because I'm not a person that waits. I'm not one of those kind of people that's just like, I want to wait 20 years to get to this point where I can actually retire. I'm just one of those kind of people that wants to be like, I want to do what I would love to do and continue doing it for who knows how long. Basically until I die. I just want to keep on going until I can't with what I love to do. And so I look at his videos and I'm like, I really want to be there. I want to be where he is. I mean, I know he has a hard time at times with what was it? Like getting things organized, and he really wants to please people with being on time and stuff like that. And you can see the regret in his eyes every time he has to cancel like a tour and stuff like that. And I was always into theatrics as well. I mean, when I was over at church, I was at church playing Shep the top dog inside of our Christmas play. I was Shep the top dog. I was, top dog. I had this whole singing number and
I wouldn't
everything.
expect any less.
And I had this bling chain all around my neck with an S that was made out of aluminum foil and cardboard. And it was just wrapped around my neck like one of those, cool guys that are cool or something. And I had that, and I was Shep the dog, and I had my own musical number, and I was cool, and that was what I did. And I had to put on makeup and stuff like that, so I was a little bit late in coming out. And they're like, "Wait, do you hear that?" And they're like, "Can you hear that?" And then I'm still not out, and that's my cue to get out. And I'm like, I'm trying, I gotta get the nose right, hold on. And I don't want to make it. I was just like, yes, when I was younger, instead of just having like, a regular voice, I sounded like that. I sounded legitimately like, hold on, guys, I gotta get this nose right, hold on. But I just, I look at these kind of things and I think, wow, that's amazing to be able to do these theatrics, to be able to entertain people and bring a smile to somebody's face through something as simple as words. Yay. And okay, so who's the subscriber? I don't know. It didn't say who the scribble was.
Excuse me.
Oh my god, there's a new subscriber. Oh my gosh. But that was one of the things, is usually when I was younger, I constantly wanted people to be happy. Everyone matters except for everyone. That's what I sound like right now? Is that what you're saying? I want to do stuff. I don't know that there's a subscriber. It didn't yet.
I don't know, man.
I mean, this is unknown knowledge to me. I don't know there's a subscriber. You're saying there's a subscriber. How can I believe you?
What is the truth?
What is the truth? The truth is simply a fallacy. A perspective devised by our brains, the biggest liars of us all. But who is to say that we are liars when in our brains we are indeed telling the truth? So who is really to believe? Okay, we're getting too deep into
Stop!
philosophy here. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Hold on. So
Stop!
I'm a brave boy. Not a brave enough boy for this. Oh gosh. But yeah, I mean, I kind of want to be the guy who is on YouTube and was able to make it doing what he loved. And I'm thinking in a past tense kind of thing because I know I'm not going to live forever. I'm not going to be here making YouTube videos forever. I'm not going to
Yeah.
be here on the same, Alligator channel always because
Are you sure?
I wish. But then again, I don't, because I'm like, at I know in 100 years I'd probably still be okay with doing this. But after 200, who knows, Maybe I won't be as interested in 200 years doing this. Let's just say I live to 300 years. Would I still want to be making YouTube? Would YouTube still be a relevant platform at that time? You know,
um,
times and seasons change so frequently, and it's just something that you can't calculate. It's just something that you won't know about, and something that, and I'm the kind of person that wants to calculate everything. I want to calculate whether or not I have enough food at the time. I want to calculate whether or not I have, the means to do what I want to do at the time, and thinking, 100, 200 years, 300 years, maybe even just 50 or 20 years into the future, I still don't know for sure if this is something that I really, 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 really want. And I know most people would be like, but you got to decide what you really, really want. And then when you really decide what you want, then you chase after that. And I'm like, well, I just want to make people happy. But you can't make everybody happy at
yeah.
all times. And there's going to be a time in your life where you won't be able to make anybody happy. So, what do you do at that point? Do you try and make yourself happy? Well, I've been so obsessed in my childhood about making other people happy. I mean, every birthday that I had, I didn't. Our traditions for our family was a little bit different than most people's. Instead of having a massive birthday party where, oh shoot, enemies, hold on. Instead of having a massive birthday party where, friends would come over and all of this other stuff, I, I was just kind of stuck with family. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I love my family. And they were there for me and they were always great company and really fun during birthday parties too. And they'd want to go out of their way in order to, help me out with feeling loved and wanted. And it's just not a common practice in a lot of today's families that I can see. But one of the traditions was when it's your birthday, you pick out a gift for yourself. You have a price limit, you go out, and you pick your birthday present. And I thought it was a pretty cool, pretty cool tradition. And so here I am, I'm thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to get for my birthday? What do I really want for my birthday? And so the issue always came to mind, do I buy it for myself? Do I buy it for other people? And so I was always curious of whether or not I needed to do it for myself, if I needed to do it for other people. But I ended up choosing, you know what, I'm going to get something that I can use myself, but everybody else can also use. You know, I got a game system here that I can play. I'm going to buy a game that, even though I'm technically the oldest now, I'm going to buy a game that everybody can play. Like when I got done with
So
Walmart.
like Mario Party or something?
Yeah, definitely something like Mario Party. When I got done with Walmart and I worked Black Friday and Thanksgiving, I got a coupon for a 75% off one purchase. And that's all you got for working Black Friday and Thanksgiving. And you didn't get any kind of health benefits or anything like that until 1 year into your, career at Walmart, which is kind of a smart business move considering their high turnover rates and yada yada. But I digress. Instead of getting all of these, I could afford a PS4 at that point. Since I had saved up a lot of money, I could have gotten a PS4 and I could have gotten all these first-person shooters and all of this stuff that's more rated M for mature because I'm 18 and I could do what I want. But instead of doing that, I decided, you know what, I'm going to put that aside for now. Even though I love first-person shooters, and I know some of this stuff is a little more graphic for younger audiences, and I can't do that in front of siblings. And I could play, when siblings aren't around, because usually they're locked up inside of their rooms or something like that. And instead of doing that, I got the Wii U. And I went ahead and bought Legend of Zelda games and got all this other stuff that everybody else would be able to play. And when I brought it home, they were like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool!" And I was the coolest guy for at least 15 minutes. But so I did it with everybody in mind, not just, "Oh, hello, Kenji." So I tried to keep everybody in mind. I tried to keep more of, everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. I keep saying it over and over again, and it's in my brain. I'm not saying it for some reason. I'm trying to cut some stone here. Hold on. I'm preoccupied. But yeah, it's something that I really like doing for my family. And so for years, every year when it came to my birthday, I was like, "Can I take the family out to Hong Kong buffet? Over there on what was it, Yarborough? I don't think it was on Yarborough. Hong Kong buffet over there, yeah. Montwood, there we go, Montwood. Great place to go, I think. And one year they actually got me a whole cake that they made inside of the bag. It was like, like you think of a buffet, they don't have menu items. This is a Chinese buffet in its purest form, and they go off the menu. They don't, just have cake mix lying around. These people went out of their way to bake a circular cake, frost it with whatever frosting that they had at the time, and coat the thing with marshmallows.
Oh
Those multicolored marshmallows? And they
like the fruit ones?
They were like, "Oh, it's your birthday?" "Yeah, it's my birthday." I think I was like 15 or 16 at the time. And I was like, "Okay, Mom and Dad, you don't need to make a big deal out of it. It's my birthday, whoop-de-doo, but yeah, it's my birthday." And they're like, "Oh, that's so cool. And you want us to sing happy birthday?" And they're like, "Yes." I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Happy birthday, happy birthday." And so they do the happy birthday thing that they were doing. And so they go back. I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." I go out for my third run on the buffet. And my third run is usually my seafood run. That's when I go out the entire buffet and get as much crustaceans as possible on one plate. Okay, shrimp, lobster, crab legs, whatever there is out there. I want it on that plate. And so I come back and I put it down and I'm halfway through the plate and I'm digging into a crawdad as soon as these people come out with this cake and it's lit with these candles that they had. It looked like they just had candles sitting there in the back for who knows how long. And they put it on the cake and they had it lit and they come out with this marshmallow covered cake and I'm just like,
Oh
what
my god.
the heck? It was amazing. And I didn't even know the people, but I knew that every year thereafter I wanted to go to Hong Kong buffet. And so I went the next year and the next year until it got to the point where it was we were getting towards the move. We were about 3 or 4 years away from the move, and we knew we were gonna had to move. And financially, it wasn't exactly the best idea to take all of these kids to a Chinese buffet for a whole day,
Yeah.
spending upwards of $80 to $90 just for a birthday thing. And I understood that. I was like, you know what? I don't want my whole family to just be like, "Aw, you know, we weren't able to survive because of your birthday, but that's okay." You know? And so I was like, "Ah, crap, I don't want that to happen." So in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, how about we just have something small? How about we just like, I don't know. How about we just not celebrate my birthday this year?" And then they're like, "Nope, not an option." So my family went out of their way and I think they invited some friends over that year. And so I was actually able to get some stuff and play with friends and I think we had a major game system at the time. And it was fun. It was really fun. But I forgot where I was going with this. Hold on. Right. And so all of these things were done for me. And I was like, you know what? I really want to repay everybody back, but I can't because they're too nice. Because no matter how much I do for them, they're still constantly doing more and more and more for me. And I'm like, I really, 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 really want to, you know, keep doing as much as I can that's nice. And I strove for that for quite some time until birthdays became a little bit more obsolete because you get older and you know you don't always get to do anything when you're older. You don't always get to do the same things over and over again. Sometimes it's better that you give up some things. Maybe you don't need a birthday party or go to Hong Kong buffet every year. And so I just kind of put up with that, and I kind of actually lost sight of it for a little bit. I was like, I really want to make people feel good. I want to make people feel better because here I am trying to start off in life, and I realized that I'm not doing too good in life because a car accident happens, and all this other stuff happens, and I have to move back to the place that I tried to move from, you know, and I have to move back with my family, and I was in a very low spot when I moved, trying to get on my own. I was like, I really got to do this on my own. I got to become independent. I really need to be self-supportive. I really need to be the kind of person that is able to do anything and everything, whenever, however, and it's really unrealistic. It's just one of those things
Yeah.
that you cannot do. And if you are going to do that, you're sacrificing everything that you're trying to fight for at that point. I have this kind of motto in my brain. If you're going to do something, you got to sacrifice something in return. You know, when Newton was coming up with all the laws of physics, He didn't just come up with them saying, yeah, that sounds pretty good. He actually observed and he actually went through this, and he was pretty darn close in more ways than just physics. Because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Keyword opposite in this context. If you're going to try to do good on a test so that you can, you know, so that you can benefit from it and you can spend more time on things that you want to spend time on, you have to sacrifice the time that you want to spend for your own pleasure to actually benefit from studying, doing something that you don't really want to do. So that's the opposite. It's you know, a stark contrast right there. If you want to benefit from a good diet and you know, have health, but you still want to eat what you love, very few times are you actually going to be eating what you love. And by eating what you love, I mean in that amount that you love as well. You know, you want to eat
Yeah.
shrimp, you want to eat lobster, you want to go out and do all this other stuff. You constantly have to sacrifice something in order to gain another thing. If you want to, you know, live another day, you have to sacrifice your time. If you want to get a good night's sleep, you have to sacrifice your consciousness and being awake. If you want, you know, I'm pretty sure I made the point now, but
Yeah.
I like to keep going on, but you guys know that
No,
already.
I wanna. Yeah. I mean,
And
it's good.
I want it to do good. I want it to be really, really good. I want it to be self-sufficient. I want it to be showing everybody that you didn't raise no fool. You know, you raised something that can stand for itself and, you know, do all of this amazing stuff. But I was not able to do that in my eyes. I got to El Paso and it was slow going. Way slower than I thought it would be. We went to Vegas. I absolutely hated Vegas, and I will say it several times over again and again and again and again. Vegas was not fun for me. I learned some stuff from Vegas, but I did not like Vegas. I learned I learned what I do not like about Vegas.
What was wrong
Um,
with Vegas?
it's like mandatory fun time. That's what Vegas was when I went there. It's like, okay, New Year's, let's stand out in the streets and count, and you know, stay up all hours of the nights, even though you've been, you know, having a hard time sleeping in the first place. You know, we're just going to try and have you stay awake as long as possible so that we can count down and say Happy New Year's and then wait another 5 hours for all the traffic to finally clear and have you, you know, get home so that you can pop into bed and wake up 6 o'clock in the morning so that you can head out to the next casino and see the next sights. And I was done at that point. I was like, no, no, this is not
None
a
of that,
vacation.
please.
This is not fun. This is mandatory sightseeing. This is tourism. I do not like tourism. I do not like being a tourist or whatever that is. And I was like, jeez, this is not, because whenever my family, I say we, meaning my family, my mom, my dad, my siblings, whenever we went out, whenever we traveled, and we traveled quite a bit. I mean, we were missionaries. You know, there were 7 siblings, myself included.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we went traveling a lot because we're missionaries. So just about every 2 years or so, we did this major eastern-wide sweep of the United States. We did not joke around. We went all out. We went to Ohio. We went to Washington, D.C. We checked out Maine. We went all across the eastern seaboard. And seeing family, seeing people we, you know, forgot that we knew, seeing more elusive family members, which are always a delight, I say sarcastically.
I need to know more about that.
I'll have stories. I'll have stories, I think, next Thursday.
Okay.
About stuff like that. Because I have work in the morning, but Ah, I love generic. You know, I don't think I can get copyright striked for saying Coca-Cola, can I?
I
It's
don't
not
think
like I'm
so, no.
endorsing it. I'm just saying that I freaking love Coca-Cola.
That's the problem.
I
I'm
don't think it's copyright to say that you like
that I like Coca. Okay, yeah, yeah. I don't think it would be either.
Why would they stop
Oh,
someone
you
from
know,
unintentionally promoting their product?
unintentionally promoting their product because, you know, it's YouTube and copyright strikes are everywhere nowadays. Okay, idle
Yeah.
wheat. Hold on. Let me put these two bushes down still, and we did a lot of traveling. That's what it was. We did a lot of traveling when we were younger, and we would save up all year long, and it wasn't mandatory technically, but it was in a sense because we felt we had a duty to see all these people that would call us every now and then and say, "Oh, we miss you so much. Oh, you know, we missed family. How's so and so doing? How's this happening? Is everyone okay?" And so it's just kind of like one of those things where it's just kind of like out of love for friends, you would take time out of your entire year to to show them that you're okay, that you love them, and that everything's going okay and good.
Hmm.
And so we tried to do that. We tried to do that just about every year. And we weren't able to do it for a couple years, which made several people sad. Um, but we could explain. And where was I going with this point here? I kind of lost doing stuff for others. There we go. Okay, thank you, Alligator. Um, so yeah, um, we took time. We were a very giving family in a lot of regards. Towards friends,
Hmm.
towards people we love. Um, and it always seemed like every time we were gonna visit someone really, really close, that shortly after that person was gone out of this world.
Oh.
And it was just interesting how perfectly timed everything was. Because sometimes people are like, well, you can see them later, and sometimes you don't get to see them later. Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, that's the last time
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to see these people, and that's really okay. That is something that happens in life, and I mean, I just find it amazing how all of it occurs. And I really want to do that while I'm alive to everybody that I can come across. And since I had depression over there in El Paso, um, I mean, that's when my depression
Hmm.
really reached its peak. That's when it got really, really bad.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, after this, yeah, I think we're done with Don't Starve here, but I'll continue chatting. But yeah, I gotta get manure, so we'll head to the grasslands towards the south here later. But yeah, we can still chat a little bit later, or a little bit because I'm going to I'm gonna have work tomorrow. What is it? 10.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you too late.
It's the last day that it's kind of like a temp job, like one of those jobs that you can work with. It's kind of like, hey, I'm a friend of your dad, and he says that you need a job. I want to help you out. Here you go. Here's the job. Um, it's exactly like that, actually. And it was nice. It's just not, I don't want to lug around 50-pound posts of wood and dig giant holes to put them in and bury them back up and attach, mile after mile of wire to it over and over and over again. Because really, I'm getting torn up over it. I mean, my arm today and today was really, really easy. Today we were just, fastening the line of wire to the posts themselves.
Mhm.
And we got a tractor that's pulling this massive spool of wire across to. Oh, great! It's raining. Yeah, I'm gonna log out. Do it. But yeah, so we have this massive spool of wire, and it's cattle wire. It's about it's divided into like squares or rectangles about 6 inch by a foot um in width, and the whole thing is just yards and yards of wire. And so we splice them together if it's too short, and we went through, I think it was 6 spools of it today.
Oh
And
wow.
I think, oh gosh, he actually went around the perimeter. The boss actually went around the perimeter with a wheel counter, like to see how far something is. And I think he came up with, what was it, 1,100 yards perimeter. I don't know if it was yards in yards. So it was 1,100 yards perimeter.
Mhm.
And that's just the perimeter, not including all the fence that we put up inside of the perimeter.
Oh my gosh.
And we had all that wire that we had to put up. And so he calculated that we're still going to need a little bit extra wire when we're done, because we have to go through this bog tomorrow. And the tractor won't fit down there, so we have to force the spool of wire out as we're trudging in 3-4 foot deep mud. And going up hills and making sure that it's pulling tight enough so that there's no slack so cows won't get out. And I don't know why the guy decided it'd be a great idea to go ahead and are you ending the stream?
No, I didn't.
Okay, you're going to a different live scene. That's right. IRL chill.
Oh, well, this is if you have the webcam and stuff.
Okay. By the way, any donations
No.
to us in our channel is actually going toward getting webcam and set up behind the webcam and stuff like that, so that we can have more quality videos, not just so that we can spend it on Snickers. Ooh, I realize why I said Snickers now. I like Snickers. I could go for a Snickers. But anyways, yeah, we don't have any Snickers right now, but oh well. Tomorrow I'm getting paid, so we will have Snickers sometime in the future. Snickers candy bar. Ah, okay. And the ice cream ones are pretty good too. I think it's in the link. Let me see here. Let me go to the channel and let me pull this up myself. But yeah, that's not something I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to set up fences for the rest of my life. I'd rather do this, actually entertain people coming up with content, and not just every Thursday, but actually doing video editing and stuff like that. We actually just got a video editor today,
Works if we click.
and
It's a donation, right?
mhm,
Where'd the jar?
it's gone.
It's gone.
It's still there though.
Oh. Oh, there it is.
Ta-da. Okay.
Everything falls.
But yeah, it's not something that I want to do every day. And my
Mhm.
arm, I mean, we were just hammering in um these staples, these like, giant staples that have barbs on the ends, so that once you staple them in, they don't come out very easily, I might add, because we had to actually take some out today. But my arm is just, I mean,
Ah.
swole, sure, but not in a good way. That is so sore right now, and oh my God, I mean, it's not all bad. It's fun sometimes, because they're all old guys. My dad, he's in his 60s, and then The boss is in his 70s, and we got another guy working with us, and he's 30 something. And so the boss just keeps joking about, you gotta go home and flex for your girl. And I'm just like, what? I mean, she doesn't like muscles much. And then, oh, fine, then sit on the couch, get a keg. And I'm just like, but I mean, this massive, keg belly. That's what I was saying by keg. I didn't actually mean a keg of beer or anything like that. Anyways, they're like, go home, and I'm like, but I don't like. I mean, she doesn't like muscles. And then, so what happens is they're like, fine then, go in front of the mirror. Check yourself out. You'd like that, right? And I'm like, I don't really care whether or not I have massive pectorals like All Might or not. I mean, sure, he's kind of cool, but I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like that. I don't want to. So I went into the bathroom and I flexed, and I'm like, meh, it's not that impressive. And then immediately after, no joke, I go out to unload the dishwasher, and my little brother Alex, who is in football, comes along, and he's like, yeah, JD he's not a real man because he only takes baths instead of showers. He's so low on testosterone, you might as well call him a girl. And
Oh
I'm
my
just like,
god.
I'm looking at him, like dead, staring at him, just dumbfounded by the idiocy emerging from his mouth. And I'm just like, are you sure you're okay as a human being? Because you sound like a complete and total jerkwad right now.
Yeah.
And he just kept going and going with just the roasts. And I'm just like, geez, man, what
Jesus.
did I do to you? I only saved your life from choking on a marble that one time. I just, come on, man. I was there when you stabbed your throat with a Tinkered toy. I was holding the towel in your mouth so you wouldn't bleed to death. Come on, man. Don't do me like this. Don't do me like this. And, ah, and my ankles. I'm starting to get glankles. Glass ankles. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Because they are so sore. And I mean, not like when you can bend. I mean, you can bend them. I mean, I'm bending it right now. I'm just looking at my foot, staring at my foot, talking on the internet. It's great. Um, but it's just like as soon as you put pressure on it, you can feel the cartilage and the blood and the bone moving underneath. And I'm just like, come on, man. Just one more day. Hang in there. And it's just I don't want to do the job forever. I feel like I'm gonna break down like physically before mentally. And
Mhm.
the way they keep talking is like you're gonna have a family soon. You're gonna get married. You're gonna have a family
Oh my
soon.
gosh.
You're going, you might not, think it, but you need this job. You need the money income. Buck it up and just do as much as you can. Because sometimes you got to do things that you don't like to do. And I'm like, I've been doing a lot of things that I don't like to do. And I know I got to keep doing that. But I can still do things that I like to do as I'm doing things that I don't like to do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not always going to be on YouTube saying, hi, everybody. This is your host, the Nook, on the Nook Thursdays. Thanks for tuning in. And I mean, I'm not always going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing other things in the meantime. I'm going to be looking for other jobs. I got Subway that I got to, try to apply to, even though I really, really, really don't want to. And over here where we live, it's just out in the boondocks of Georgia. So any job, any conventional job nowadays that you would think a job is 30 minutes to 15 or not 30 minutes to 45 minutes away. There we go.
Yeah.
It's just difficult, but yeah, so hopefully, if you guys like this stream, go ahead and share it. That's probably the best way to get the word out. Share it to friends, share it to family members. This is a live stream right now, but it's still going to be on the channel after we're done live streaming. So you guys will be able to hear this rant over and over and over again and listen to the
Yay!
luxurious tones of your host here. And actually, since I was paid recently, there's a microphone that I have in mind, and I'm gonna try and get that. It's got really good reviews. I was watching a video of it, unedited audio, and it is very, very good quality. And it's one of those kind of like microphones that you just situate on the center of the desk, and it works really well with OBS. And I'm gonna try and get it in the near future. No guarantees that it's going to be anytime real soon, but I'm definitely got my eyes on that specific one. I'm not just gonna, pour out hundreds of dollars for a Blue Yeti. That's just
Yeah,
not smart.
that's understandable.
Anyways, I want to start somewhere. I mean, yeah, just making little crap videos. I mean, if you look at my channel, for you guys on the live stream, you can go ahead and check out Blaze It Eduardo, and that's my channel there. I should have like 3 videos up at the time. I did a little bit of renovating on it, and I don't have all of my old school family videos there, but they're more of in a private area there. But I can actually link you guys to some of my first works as a video editor, and I think it was what, New Year's 2015, 2016 video. It was hilarious. It's great. I'll show you guys later, but yeah, go ahead and check out
Okay.
that channel with all of the weird game glitches that I found. It was just, some of them are just really hilarious with Fallout 4 and Need for Speed. And they're small clips, so it's not going to be like, 45 minutes or something out of your day. And yeah, it's just one of those things that you can check out on my channel. But if you can share, go ahead and check out the rest of the videos on whatchamacallit, Alligator's channel. There we go. And yeah, words are not coming to me as easily as they have been during this stream, so I think it's a good as indicator as any to say good night to everybody, and thank you for watching. This is the end of the stream, and I'll catch you next Thursdays, or every other Thursday. I'm going to be more regular with the Thursdays live stream, but yeah, thanks for watching, and goodbye.